Peace to the gang, and welcome to Quit the Cat Podcast. Peace to the gang, and welcome back to Quit the Cat Podcast. It's your boy BP, alongside the Bishop and PosiTiff.
Yes.
And welcome back to another episode here at Bang Bang Fitness Center here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Real quick vibe check before we get into this conversation. Bishop, how you feeling?
I'm feeling king-like.
King-like. There we go. Heavy. PosiTiff, how you feeling?
I'm feeling positive.
Okay. She's feeling positive.
Yeah,
that's what's up. And right now,
how you feeling?
Tony the Tiger Grape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I like it.
Tony the Tiger Grape.
I like it.
All right, so let's get into this podcast. Welcome back to another week.
Hello.
How's everybody doing?
I'm doing great. How was your week this week?
Oh my gosh, I've been in this week. I done been in Philly. Well, I was in Philly last week. I was in Delaware. I was in Maryland yesterday. So my week's been
productive.
It's been very productive. Yeah, very productive. Yesterday I was in Maryland. I have a woman that I'm working with, and she is a part of a tech book anthology.
Okay.
And she came in from Canada.
Word.
She came in from Canada, so I felt it like, you know, my responsibility to make that drive to Maryland to support her. Like, some people ain't even, they're not going next door.
Right.
You know, they won't go outside their house to
Right.
Came from Canada. Just moved from Nigeria to Canada 6 years ago. And then she was here in Maryland yesterday. So I had to go meet her.
So when you going to Canada?
We're in the works of talking about. Yeah. We're in the works.
I already know it.
So today,
talk about it.
I wanted to ask y'all a question. I wanted to talk about leadership. Okay. Leadership, responsibility. When you were once called to do something, the power of, we can say, responsibility, oaths, criteria that go along with a position, and upholding those positions. And when us as black people, and we have leaders and people leading us, or people we look to for guidance, how important is it in these roles that we are transparent and taking ownership to our actions? And being leaders, the responsibility of what we say and do and how it affects everyone.
Right.
Good question.
You know, I give grace where, because some people, it doesn't choose you. I mean, you didn't choose it, it chose you.
Right.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
And then you have some people that seek out and put that title, or jump in arenas where, you know, this comes with that responsibility. So how important is ownership and transparency in leadership? And do you think us as a people respect leadership, understand what leadership is, understand the blood, like that's what they like to say in church, the blood's accountable to you when you hold the desk and you're a preacher, or you know, you have people under you, that blood's required to your hands. Like, they say it that way because when you think about it, bloods would make the body go.
Right,
so they want you to know the severity of this is what this is. You know, that's why I tell people, you don't want to play with God. You don't want to play, you know, some people, because it become lucrative where people become preachers and things because they know this is a business.
Right.
I can go to seminar school. I can
say
whoop, make you feel good. Say something, you know, you will learn how to connect with people and make it sound good. So, you know, everybody doesn't have the anointing. You know, I know preachers that were committing adultery, and he said he knew the word. He wrote it in his book. He knew how to go through form and fashion, and here the Spirit was anointing the whole time he was preaching. Jamal Bryan said that. He said, oh, the Spirit been left. He said, I'd get up there and say some things, but I knew they was comfortable with hearing.
Right.
And, you know, he said he didn't feel the presence of God on him, but he still had to show up and do what he had to do. So I say that to say, how important is it to, like, take ownership and to be accountable for your actions in leadership?
Go ahead. I want to hear what you got to say.
Whoa, you want to hear what I got to say?
I want to hear what you got to say.
So I'm gonna tell you the truth. as an influencer, leadership is accountability for people's lives.
Okay.
That's not something that you take lightly.
Right.
You got to think about the influence you have as a leader.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people are following you for a reason. People are following you because there's something that you've done that has drawn them in.
Right.
When we teach people that it's about faith and not followers.
Okay.
You know, like you can see the difference.
Right.
You know, I honestly, I believe that you can see the difference if you're honest with yourself.
Right.
If you take the scales off of your eyes, you know, there are some leaders who are only in leadership positions because, like you said, they make people feel good.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and they became popular because they got these followers.
Yeah.
But when you really look at it, like, where's your faith at?
Yeah.
You know, for me, and I mean, I would never be anything but honest with y'all. I don't take that lightly.
Right.
You know, and I know that people aren't.
shouldn't.
Yeah.
You
I
shouldn't,
don't, and I believe that, you know, people aren't perfect, and I live my life in such a way as, you know, you see an example of what you're striving to be. Again,
Right.
I'm far from perfect, but I also let you know that.
Right.
You know,
right.
because that's what people out here need to see in their leadership. Like, she's not perfect, but dang.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She handles her business.
Yeah.
She does what she's supposed to do. And everybody doesn't take that responsibility that heavy.
Right.
Like, that's
Right.
heavy for
Right.
me.
Right.
Like, that's, I don't ever want to stand before God and God says, Tiffany Hall, I gave you the assignment to lead
Right.
people,
Right.
and you brought
And you
nobody.
did it dirty, yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You brought nobody. Like, I just, that's big to me.
Right.
It's huge.
That's big. And that truth thing, man, listen. Marion Barry, the mayor of DC, you know, he did what he did, but he was always honest. You know, they knew.
That's fair.
They knew he was a crackhead.
Right.
But he was good to people.
Right.
And he was an amazing leader.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
so again, you can have your faults.
Right.
But when you're honest, when you make yourself
Absolutely.
vulnerable, what I don't like, what I do not like is when you hide behind stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's you're a liar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you do something wrong, take accountability
stand
for
on
your
it.
actions. Stand
Stand-
on
yeah,
it. Everybody
stand on it.
talking about they standing on business.
Yeah.
No, y'all not standing on business.
Yeah.
Y'all leaders and you out here, you know, you going this way, you going that way. And we had this conversation a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's why a lot of people are following Donald Trump.
Right.
Because, like it or not,
Yeah.
He's honest.
they're
yeah.
like, he's saying what some people won't
Right.
say. And that's where leadership is. We got to stop making people feel good. I don't want you to make me feel good. I want you to hold me accountable
Right.
Yeah.
for getting to another level.
Yeah.
And that's not, but then, you know, here we go again. If you look at a leader's life,
Yeah.
like closely with a
Yeah.
magnifying glass,
Yeah.
they ain't got it together like we
Yeah.
think
Right.
they do. And that's
That's the
okay.
hugest part
But
right
that's
there.
the thing. Like, you out here acting like you
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
you don't.
Right.
And then when, you know, it falls apart, everybody's like, oh my God, I didn't know that. Yes, you
Yeah,
did.
you did.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You saw the signs on the wall the whole
stuck with
time.
it.
You
Yeah.
just chose to stick around it
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they were popular.
Yep.
You know, they were the it thing at that time.
Yeah.
So I just, leadership is big to me. The responsibility of leadership is big.
Absolutely.
Like, it's
I think the point that you made with saying that, like, you're not perfect, I think that's what a leader is. It's someone who says, listen, I'm going to walk through this battle with y'all. I'm not perfect.
Right.
I may not make the right decision all the time, but I guarantee to tell y'all the truth. And the way that we're going is the way I feel like it's going to be best for us.
Yes.
And I want all of us to succeed and make it through this. And I'm going to just be transparent with everything that I got going on. So I feel like as a leader, that's what you have to do.
Right.
If you're not doing that, you're just, like you said, you're a liar.
right.
And that doesn't make you a leader. There's a lot of liars out here.
And why is that? And we said it last week with the control piece. Why is that power so important?
The power?
Why is that power so important?
Because that's something.
Like,
some people, that may be all they have.
Why is
they
that
don't have
power
any?
so
They don't have
important?
any individual because we all got individual power, and when you know your individual power.
So is it important to hide? Like, could you see where like a lot of those leaders? So is it important because you're hiding your
true self?
Yeah, in your what they call them your. When you have something that you don't like to show, your insecurities. So do people search for power to cover up their insecurities?
Yeah. I was going to say, you think, yeah.
I say because they don't know their individual power.
Yeah,
so the only thing that you can get is when somebody is saying, you're the greatest, oh, you're this, you're that. And it's like, I am that. Oh. And it's like, but you just believe it because they hyping you up to believe it. But
like even hearing you say that, like that's like
it sounds
right, yeah. But that's what they think.
But then you got to look. There's some countries that's traditional to that. Where,
absolutely.
Like, the one because it's very funny you said because I'm watching this movie in Japan. It's in Japanese, but the women sit around these men and tell them, exalt them all day long, even when they're like you're
terrible.
Yes,
they're
but
terrible.
They have people that sit around and they said, "I am. Tell me something else about myself."
Right.
Like,
are you serious?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a culture like that's how you know. Like,
it's a lot of cultures like that.
I am. Tell me something.
Yes,
that sounds crazy.
Is this here?
Sound crazy.
So that thing of power.
No, here we go. Tell her you got a CPAP.
But so I think it's different, the power everywhere you go.
Right.
So it's like if you look at them people when you hear like about Napoleon, Hitler, and just the complexes.
Even Stalin. Stalin, Trump, like so, all these people have that they exude those same type of characteristics that's like
complex.
Just tell me I'm great whether I am or not.
That it is a messy where people want to be leaders and want to be authentic and want to be transparent and just want to be themselves. I feel like you can't get in no trouble when you're being yourself. If you're being yourself at all times, I think that gives people to say, you know what, he does this, I don't want to follow him.
Right.
Or he's into this, I don't want to follow. You know, because we follow people that have something, some heresy, some bias, some type of thing that we have that is the same. You know, like we love talking, we love things being a certain way. We love order, being in truth. So that's what attracts us, you know. So I feel like, and I was talking to Elaine about that this morning. Like if I felt you was sloth-like or you wasn't doing what you said you do, I wouldn't even be around you.
Right. But some people, you know, it's crazy that you say that because some people, they're willing to overlook somebody's flaws, like serious flaws, just to be attached to something, you know. Yeah. And like you said, it comes from like I'm comfortable with me,
right?
Yeah.
You know, like I know the power I hold, and I always tell people that start with you,
right?
You know, once you know the power that you hold, you don't allow anybody to give and take your power away. You hold your power, and once you truly understand that, then you truly understand leadership. And I personally believe that if you really about your business as a leader, it's lonely. Oh, it's lonely. It's lonely because you're going to be that person who you're outspoken for the right things. Like, you're going to go against the grain, and you're not going to be afraid, and everybody's not willing to do that. You know, everybody's not willing to do that, and I think that's one of the scariest things is being a leader, because I'm going to tell you right now, sometimes I just be like, Tiff, stay away from that. Because, again, I know the power of my influence, you know, and Tiff, stay away from that. That has nothing to do with you. You know, don't support that person. Like, real talk. Tiff, don't support that person because, you know, again, you're attaching your name, your reputation to it. And what does that do? That brings your following.
And I like what you said earlier because you're the second person today that said when you stand at a certain position and you address the problem, what's your solution?
I don't play that. Like, that's why I don't get involved in a lot of things where, and again, I get asked to be involved in a lot of stuff. And as soon as I say, well, what are we doing following this meeting?
Right.
Huh?
Nobody know.
Huh? Because I've sat at too many tables where we talked about crime in communities. We talked about issues in communities. And as we can see, it's still going on.
Yeah.
So if you come to me and you want to solve a problem, you better have a follow-up.
There got to be a solution.
You got to have a follow-up.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be them leading. Okay. But what is your follow-up? Are we breaking down? Are we... And when you don't follow through, I have a problem with that.
Right.
Okay.
I have a problem with that because, again, you're leading people.
Right.
You're bringing people to the forefront to stand on something to solve. But you're not showing them how to solve it, or you don't have a follow-up solution to.
Right.
We meeting about the meeting. I can't stand that. We're going to have a meeting this month, next month, about what?
That's
right.
What is the solution?
Right. Yeah.
And they don't do that. So I don't care what nobody thinks. I support what I want to support. I go where I want to go. But if you ain't standing on business, I just don't. And I don't care who likes it or who don't like it. I'm good.
That's why
I'm good.
Responsibility.
And that's
you have it though.
But I ain't asked for it. I just like to.
No,
I like to.
Never ask for it.
I like to. This is the thing, because I like to call things what they are. I can't help it. I can be in a store and people standing around. You're supposed to be working. I'm like, didn't they? Because I'm paying my money, so that's just me. So I'm like, leave these people alone. But they're getting paid and they're working, and we're standing in the line, and they
right.
So it doesn't that I try to be elite. I just how I move. So
right.
I don't be how do I look at, okay, let me say this. I feel that the life and the perception of how I look at things when it pertains to like my health, because I don't know everything, but just being happy and choosing a perspective of looking at life, because life is going to life. Like that's how
yes.
So
it's the realest thing ever.
I choose to have a positive I choose to have a positive mindset, and I live by that.
Right.
So that's what I display. Now I don't, because some people do. I'm the lead. I follow like.
But and having that positive mindset means that you may have to remove yourself from some things to keep that positive mindset,
right.
And that's okay. And everybody don't understand that.
Yeah.
In order for me to maintain the positive mindset that I have, I need to stay out of your environment, because if I don't, I'm gonna say something about and I told y'all, I'm a nurse, so. Every now and again, I'll pick up shifts. So I picked up last night somewhere because they're really short and they needed staff. Somebody calls off. Supposed to be work at 6 o'clock. Calls off at 5:24. You're supposed to be to work at 6 o'clock.
So you had to stay.
No. No, she wasn't a nurse. I'm a nurse. So, but it was a CNA.
It's a difference.
It's a difference, but I shout out to my CNAs because, I can't do the job without you. But you call at 5:24 with all these excuses.
Yeah.
I can't stand excuses.
Yeah.
I cannot stand excuses from adults when you're supposed to be doing something. Yeah. And then talking to me, because we're in a professional environment. And I was like, it's just all these excuses and all this, and this and that. So we get off the phone. She calls back a couple minutes later, trying to spend somebody. And I said, listen, that's between the facility and your agency. You already called off.
Yeah.
You don't need to explain anything to me.
Right.
Why are you calling back and explain? But my whole thing is 5:24 and you're supposed to be there at 6.
Yeah.
So now you're jeopardizing everybody else.
Yeah.
You're putting everybody else in a position that they shouldn't be in because you're not being accountable and responsible for the role that you're in.
Yeah.
That stuff right there, like excuses.
And then, but that's the biggest part is like you can say I can't make it, but eliminate the excuses.
Eliminate the excuses.
So,
yeah,
what you're saying is everybody has a role of leadership in the role that
Absolutely.
they play.
Yes, and
Everybody,
I feel as though
yeah.
if leaders would step up and put your foot down, some of the stuff we see wouldn't be going on. Stop being so, we can be understanding. We can give grace. But as a leader, you have a responsibility to enforce some things and hold some people accountable. And the chaos happens where there is that lack of accountability. There's that lack of responsibility for making people responsible for what they're supposed to be responsible for. You know, we live in communities where we talk about this is going on and that's going on. Well, in the communities that we live in, let's see, maybe if we would get more involved in stuff instead of talking about what's going on. Maybe if we would lead by example. If something's going on, let's show up. You know, let's show up to more than just a popularity contest.
Show up to school board meetings.
Let's show up. Let's show up. Let's have the conversations about school board meetings. And then, you know, when the people who are on this school board and are serving or in any position, it's not even going to act like that, but they're not the enemy. They're not the enemy. When somebody says, I want what's best for these kids, and you see that, why are you going to give them hell and high water to go through? They want what's best for kids' education. Like, why is that?
All your kids.
Why is that a problem?
I think that's where a lot of it comes in, that's that jealousy factor some of the plays, and that's the resentment of your children, because people feel like if I didn't have it or I didn't need it, like I'm not.
You be alright.
Like you think that?
I feel like some of that's where that plays in. Like I truly do. Like
my parents beat me over the head.
Everybody that has children didn't have children because they want to love them. Like some people had children because they was fucking.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's really it.
Go. That's how they look at it.
That's really it.
I think we look from our mind of being fathers and being protectors, being mothers, being nurturers, that's everybody's response for these responsibilities or these roles. I really don't think it does. And I think responding on social media is so much easier and seeming like you're so much involved or you care so much, because I really don't got to extend myself from here. Like I get to say this part, or I get to be on here, and I get, like you said, I like that. If you don't.
What's the solution?
Shut up. But then people will come up with solutions, but they don't see them through.
Right.
So like people can post solutions all day long, but
it's cute.
And it's popular. Like,
and it gets followers. But followers are not popularity. Likes and loves are not. That's not the work.
That's not really.
That's not the work.
You know, that's why it's scary.
Fight videos. Fight videos.
Yeah.
Don't share that stuff.
Yeah.
If you see folks out in the community, especially people of color, why are you sharing that? That's ignorance to me.
But that's all. That's how ignorant. Like that's the thing. They will share ignorance. Like, oh my God, I can't believe they did this in this video. Share it.
And share it.
And you be like, stop.
Oh yeah.
Why are you sharing?
This was wrong. Man.
This is terrible. Share.
But that's what you said. But that's what you said a couple episodes ago. The negativity gets shared so quick.
Right.
But and you can share the negativity. But again, come with a solution. Don't share it because you want to be the first one. I'm on the scene to share it. Like, don't do that. Come with a solution, and that's anybody.
That's
you know, you should. What would make you stand there and watch some young people fight and record it?
Yeah,
that's the most ignorant thing, like as an adult, that you could do. You're not going to try to break it up, but you can stand there with a phone.
That wouldn't even be my first instinct to just pull out my phone and be like, "Oh, look at like." I don't think like that.
My first instinct would be like, we gotta hide this some way. You know what I mean? Like we gotta protect this some way somehow. Because I'm quick. I've been in instances. I'll be like, put your phone away. Put your phone away. You know, when you out with your girlfriends and you know you might get a little tipsy. Put your phone away. What we're not going to do is we're not going to record her drunk. We're not going to humiliate her.
That's why
we're not going.
That's why.
Put your phone away.
And those times I only want people around me. That's why you look. And see what you saying. That has been the biggest thing that has shattered people.
Yes, you never know who's watching.
And then you have people that you allow in your camp when you be like, okay, it's just us. And then you have one of those Judas in your camp, or one of those people that's waiting to expose you, want you to say something the whole time they're recording or they got the camera. Yeah. Because you see a lot of those things, like even with like, we're going to say with Trump, with grab him by the pussy. He thought he was talking in...
To just his homie. It's supposed to be a conversation between me and you.
And
homie recording the whole thing.
He thought that was going to debunk him, and then he thought, like, stuff when you... There's no popularity in exposure.
No.
People forget the exposure. You're not going to... You're the first one to leak this. You exposed this? Okay. They don't care about that. They don't care about the... So it's like people who try to chase something to get into that fame or that notoriety or to debunk the leader, but the exposer gets no...
We live in a society where people have to judge you one way or another. Either you great or you the worst person ever. You can't be in the middle, so if you expose
the worst great person.
Look, you can't be the worst great person. You got to be
the worst great or the greatest.
Right. Other than that, if you in the middle as the worst great, nobody cares. If you on one of those two other ends of it, people are going to pay attention, and people know that.
Right.
It's like you just can't be in the middle with it. You got to be on one end of the pole or the other.
And we spoke on that. Like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, they're great now.
They were despised back then by everybody.
Right.
Black people did not like them back then.
So it's like being a great leader is on. I think.
And just
you're the only one who gets the target.
And just
nobody. Listen, they're gonna aim the gun at Bishop. They're gonna aim the gun at PosiTiff. They ain't aiming at me because I just be in the cut. I don't say nothing. But
we be in the cut.
Yeah,
I be in the cut.
But y'all have opinions.
I got facts.
You got facts. You got facts too. I keep my facts and opinions to myself.
I don't know nothing.
If I start talking, now you're gonna be like this nigga.
I don't know. Listen,
I just shut up.
I say it's all subjective. I don't listen.
It's just like you said, we didn't ask for this.
Right.
We didn't ask for this, but no, I stay out the way because
me too.
because people don't like you, and it's not even, they don't even have a valid reason. They don't like you because people listen to you.
That's it. Because I can't believe she actually saying something and people really listening to her. Like, yes.
Yeah, like
they hate that.
They hate it.
Because they ain't saying shit. They ain't saying shit, and then to them that's like, I want to do that. Most people like y'all doing y'all thing. Y'all just talking. That's just how y'all move on y'all daily basis. Y'all not bothering nobody. I know that. But to the people that dislike y'all, they like, oh, I want a gym.
But
like, dog.
But they don't know what's keeping you from doing
it. I want to go talk in the crowd. And I want to talk to people. And they just like, they mad at y'all for y'all just doing y'all thing.
But then it's like they don't see the behind the scenes work. Because I'm going to tell you, and I ain't even going to lie because you brought it up. I've seen so many motivational speakers. Y'all ain't motivating nobody to do nothing.
Right.
Like, y'all ain't doing the business part of it.
Right.
Y'all just out here talking like there's no impact, no structure. There's no purpose for you speaking. You just out here speaking. Right.
You ain't saying nothing.
You're not saying anything.
And it's bad for me because I can't shut up. Can't shut up runs in my house. My son, he talk. It must be something that.
And I know he hit you with educated shit
too. But I just like, listen.
From Bolivia.
So I can't help it because I be like, God, I'm gonna shut up today.
Yeah, okay.
That ain't fit to happen.
It's so for me, it's not a popularity thing. I just like to share information. I just be like, hey,
and that's all it is, right?
So it's not that you're doing you're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah,
it's people are mistaking or taking it wrong.
They're taking your power. They want that power.
We know people who sit back and they watch everything. They want to participate, but they don't participate. So they get mad at the participators because they sitting back there and not participating. I know folks that's like, oh my God, they shit's trash. And you like, why is it trash?
Right.
Oh, because that's not even really how it happened. You be like, so you are mad at them because they're doing what they woke up and said this is what they wanted to do today.
But it's like, and everybody has the power to do that.
We all have that power.
Like you just get up and you just
But it's easier to point the finger and say,
what they say.
He's the leader, she's the leader. It's their fault that shit is like this. No, it's not. It's your fault that you was a sucker. You know, and you ain't doing what you was supposed to do.
You know,
I said it. I don't give a damn. Y'all some suckers.
Listen, he's starting. He's starting. He gonna say what he gotta say. Right. But also understanding that. So let's just say you have the gym. I meet you, and I'm looking for a gym. You know what I mean? And you're like, man, Bishop got some mess with him. You know what I mean? Bishop this, Bishop that. You know, Bishop does this, and now all of a sudden you're blocking.
That'd be crazy.
My blessing.
That'd be the craziest thing in the world.
I'm looking to get healthy, right? I'm looking.
You still go,
right. So I'm looking to get healthy. You know what I mean? I'm looking for. You know, I saw some of his videos. I see he's up every morning. You know, I could really, I like his energy. Right. And you're like, man, Bishop got some stuff with him. Now you're blocking my blessing. Right. But you don't realize how influential your words are. You know what I mean? And people don't understand, like, if you just say how much more powerful you would be if you would, Bishop Tiff's looking for a gym. You know, this is yada, yada. Right. And people don't understand that. Be the connector.
That's it.
Yeah. Be the connector. Yeah. Connect people. Stop being so divisive. Yeah. You know, stop. You don't know. And then half of the reason that you're not connecting is because something that you don't even know the truth on.
You don't know.
You know.
I spoke at a funeral, at my uncle's funeral, and I that's what one of my things was that I had written about him, that he was a connector. And when you die and leave this earth, people that connect other people to good people, that relationship, that name that connected these two good people, that name lives on in that connection when they think about how they met. And then when you go find somebody else that's good, they be like, hey, you know such and such. Oh, yeah, that's my. Then now you connected because you hear that name. So when somebody be like, hey, you know Tiff, oh, that's my. And then so
it's
you
all
are a
good.
Connector of people. So every time that people run into people in this relationships, hey, you know, and you know, connector people connect.
And I'm going to say this, I'm going to preface this. If you about, and I'm saying it, if you about bullshit, don't drop my name nowhere. Do not drop my name nowhere. Just because, right. Yes. But if you about bullshit, do not drop my name. Because as soon as you do something wrong, they coming back to me.
Like, that was just
and I don't,
Listen.
I don't play. I don't. That right there.
I have people coming to me and be like, such and such told me at the gym, and I'll be like, wait, they told you?
Right.
I ain't never
seen Yeah. No.
Like, you know, so it does matter.
It matters. Your reputation matters.
Yes, it matters.
Like, people will use your name to get in spaces, and it's just like there's an event in Canada. There's a speaking event in Canada in May, and they just reached out to me to speak. So, you know, I sent them the information. So I was getting messages from people on LinkedIn, people on Facebook and Messenger asking me about the event. And, you know, because they saw, I didn't know these people. Right. Well, what happened was my photos there on their advertisement. I didn't say yay or nay if I was going. I'm just having, you know, communication with you. They had a form that you had to fill out. And I filled out the form, sent my photo back, all of that stuff. Well, now I'm on the thing.
So you already in there.
And I was like, wait. But again, you know, and people will say, they're like, you know, I reached out to you because, you know, I searched your page and I look, you know, and I see, you know, you're doing some really good stuff. So, you know, I value your opinion.
Right.
And I was like, these people, that's my image. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know how powerful you are and people that you influence. And then I was like, no, I had to tell the people, I'm not coming to Canada to speak.
Right.
You know, I had another situation last year with another organization, and I had to cut ties with them because what they were doing was going to people, soliciting them as speakers. And I told y'all before, I shared with y'all before, some spaces, when your name is not out there, you know, you pay to speak in those spaces. You make that investment in your brand and what you're doing. And they were going and reaching out to people, and then they would come back to me and say, well, if such and such acts, you know, we just had a conversation with her. And I'm like, what? Yeah, so if she asks you, because your name came up, because when we were having the interview with her, she was, you know, she had looked at the website and she saw you on the website.
Right.
I was like, oh, I'm done with y'all. I'm done with y'all. Because I don't agree with everything that y'all have done when I spoke at your event.
Right.
No, I'm not having anybody invest that kind of money in, and I was there and I saw what. No, and, and we're not going to lie about it.
To vouch.
I'm not vouching.
It's like if I back you in the corner, you vouch.
And I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I don't care how upset you get with me. I'm not doing that because, again, when people start to make those investments, when people, you know, take your name as value, a value in substance, they're going to follow. Yeah. And I don't want you to think that I got to where I am negotiating a $10,000 speaking engagement because of that event. Because that's not the case. There's work that I've done behind the scenes, and everybody doesn't understand that. You know, so no, don't drop my name anywhere. And I don't drop people's names.
Right, for sure.
Unless I know.
Right.
Yeah, I don't drop people's names because I don't know what y'all be doing.
Yeah.
So
I just think that's weird. I don't drop names.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
If you know me, you know who I'm with. And
right.
You know who I'm around. Other than that, I just want to be like, yo, I'm with homie all the time. Yes, my dog. Like,
yeah, because I don't want to have to go back and be like
that nigga ain't shit.
Right.
So
unless I know it's something that's really, 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 you can use it to your benefit, and you know I see it. But I'm not going to vouch for him. I'm going to say, you know, here's the connection.
Right.
You know, fill it out for you, see if it works for you, and then give you the freedom of choice. But I'm not going to be like, yeah.
See, I am a leader. When I say that, because I lead in what I do in my life, I do make the calls. I do what I want to do. I do things the way I want to do them. I do.
Tell me more about
make my own rules. But that's just who I am.
Right.
I don't. That's just how I move. I am also a student first. I am a follower of great leaders, and that's how I love that I can be a part of an organization where I'm not in control, that I'm not the leader. Like I just get to come do my thing, come back.
But you're still a leader, even in that aspect.
Yeah, so, in that
so
part that you're
when I'm
responsible
out in the
for.
streets and I see young boys, you know, I don't post everything, but I'm active. You know, so when people can say, "Listen, I'm out there, I'm in the trenches," like I hear, I'm out there when they shoot, and I see it, you know, so I'm still out here, and I don't know. I just feel like I'd rather be transparent in my follow me, but no, I'm not perfect.
Not perfect.
And that's fair, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
Absolutely fair.
I'm not going to break your heart, but I could let you down.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. You might have an expectation of me that you be like, bro, why you respond that way? I did. I'm sorry. But it would never be nothing detrimental where I am doing something that's going to jeopardize what I stood on. Like, you're not going to see me out here with a gun and doing things when I done stood in front of these prisoners telling them not to do X, Y, and Z, and then I'm doing X, Y, and Z.
Right.
So, like, the things that I feel that holds me accountable, I'm not going to tell you to do something I don't do.
I got you.
You know, I'm gonna look at everything as a whole. If I know that me doing certain things or responding a certain way is going to set me back, set the people that believe in me back, set y'all back, I'm not going to do it. Like, I feel that I owe it that much. So I feel like
and that's a leader too, is that you're thinking about your
at all times.
Yeah,
because,
you know what I mean?
You know, we have situations where things affect other things, and I think we just have to take ownership.
So may I challenge, because you know that's what I'm here for. May I challenge you and ask you this question and ask you to expand upon something? Let you down in what way? Because
what I mean, let people down.
Because I'm how?
It might be small, but it might still be a letdown. Like, you might have been expecting to come to something and I closed that day. It'll be something like that. Not let down in a major catastrophic way. So nothing like that. Like let down. I don't even know how I would let you down.
That's why I was exactly so because that's why I'm you already know right. Big sis gonna come in and say can you correct that because you're not really
I'm not gonna do nothing that gonna let you down.
Right.
I'm not there to be accountable for my right.
Yes.
I don't feel like listen.
Right. Yeah. Because that's gonna eat you up more than like I'm not gonna let you down if I'm not like right. I just like yesterday like I said I drove to Maryland because I knew she was coming in from Canada and all that rain and I know I'm going down 83 I'm pumping my brakes I know these people's like who is grandma in front of us I'm hydroplaning and all kinds of stuff and then when I talked to her she was like I was looking and I was like dang imagine if I didn't go you know what I mean so like I'm not gonna let you down because I just don't. I don't want that.
Yeah, I don't want to. I feel bad. I remember my cousin's wedding, right? And something happened. Rashonda couldn't go or didn't want to go, and I was prepared for us both to go, and I ended up not going, right? And mad that she didn't go. Like we were supposed to be in this together, whatever.
Right.
And me not being there for him. When I tell you, pause, ate me alive, it bothered me. All right, look.
I'm with you. Go ahead. No Diddy.
But listen, no, wait, yeah. But listen, I felt bad.
Yes. Right.
Like, I felt so bad, even though it was a thing where I know he would be okay. It was for me that I felt bad that I allowed or conjured up something that I let become an excuse, and I know I can't never repay that moment for him, but that moment, even though it might not be big, it's still big to me. Like I apologize, I had to have a conversation with him about it, but I know now to verbally what I can commit to and show up for the people that need me to show up for them, because even that small thing, the conviction was so heavy, so I can just imagine when it's something, and I'm thankful for my small convictions, because those small convictions keep me safe.
Right.
So.
I, it is, in the relationship pieces, is very different. It is different. That happened last month with me. We were supposed to go to a baby shower in Virginia. And because, me and my husband were bugging about something,
Right.
I just was like, and not even making an excuse. I just said, I ain't going. I was like, I ain't going.
Right.
I don't want to be around you in this 5-hour drive. Like, we ain't going. But it was the first next generation coming into our family. And that convicted me.
Right.
Because, we're at a point, everybody in my family, people are getting older. So it's like, Tiff, it's on you now. You're the glue.
Generation.
Right. Yeah. You're the glue. And something so simple.
Threw you off.
Threw me off.
Yeah.
And I had to tell myself afterwards, I will be on the highway by myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I will be on the highway by myself, or we just gonna be in this. Yeah. It wasn't even that big of a thing to not see this baby come into the world. Right. Or it was the baby shower. But it was just like, you know what? I got to do better. Yeah, I got to do better. And, in different roles that we lead in. So I may have mastered this part of leadership, but this matriarch in my family now.
Right. That's another level.
That's a whole nother level.
You here, and everybody else comes underneath you, so and you're the one with all the wisdom.
Oh, wait a minute! I gotta start hosting the family events on a regular basis. When my cousin tells me, the holidays, you go to certain people's houses for certain foods they cook. She was like, "That's you now." I was like, "Dang!" I remember when it wasn't me.
Right.
So I was like, and stuff like that. And I feel as though when you're put not on that pedestal, but when people look at you in that way, you look at yourself.
Absolutely.
Like, it's necessary for me to do this.
You have to.
And like you said, it keeps me from going out here and doing something stupid, because it's that expectation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can go to my little cousins and say, listen, because it used to be my uncle, it used to be my grandpop, it used to be, my grandma. It's like now it's you. Yeah. Everybody's aging. Yep. So it's like that level of respect. Yeah. Like, we respect what it is that you have to say. And like, you're real with us. And that's real. Y'all think that of me? Right. And you're just like, you know what? I want to do better.
Yeah. Because you the auntie that got her stuff together.
Listen,
compared to, because we all get to that age now where in our families we are the one who's like, all right, we make the decisions. We are the playmakers, so to speak. Like you got, if something's going down, it's based on whoever's in this room right now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And for people to look at you in that and say, well, Auntie Tiff, Cousin Tiff, she got this thing figured out. I'm going to go to talk to her. Like, that's a major responsibility, a major thing
cousins. To be. Oh, my God. And my little cousins, they call. I got one in college right now, and, she's like, Cousin Tiff, I planned out this Bible study for us, and, she graduates in May, and I'm just like, dang. I love it. But again, it comes with a higher level of responsibility and commitment. So,
that's real. That's how I always felt being black, though.
What you mean?
I always felt that way being black, like it's my responsibility to uphold being a positive image for black people.
I'm in that space.
Like I don't ever want you to be like he's this or he. I mean, people still look at you how they look at you. That's on them. But I always held myself to that standard. Like if you as a black man have to stand. Like I may joke around, but the reality of things is like I know my power. I know my role in this community, in our world. So I hold being a black man to a super high standard. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like I don't want you to ever see anything. Now we're not perfect. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make mistakes, and I gladly will tell you about my mistakes because I feel like you're going to learn more from hearing these mistakes than you are from me just telling you, oh yeah, everything's perfect.
And it's going to be hard. It's harder on y'all. It's harder on y'all when a black man isn't being the father that he should be.
Right.
Oh, that's common.
Right. That's common.
You know what I mean? That's common. So it's just like the excuse of, well, she took me for child support, so I ain't doing this. Right. I don't give up.
It don't matter.
What she did, that's still your child. That does not excuse you from your responsibility, and you sound crazy as hell
people
saying
sound crazy.
Like,
they
and they don't understand.
I ain't doing this. I pay child.
I pay child support. Like I'm not doing this, or she don't let me see my kid. If you don't go fight for your rights, like you have a right. Like I don't care what she says, you have a right. But as far as black men, and again, we've said it, like y'all set the tone for so many things. Absolutely. And y'all are going to be looked at different. The first time you make an excuse, they're going to look at the color of your skin. And I don't care if you do not believe that it's not true. No, that is a fact.
You cannot make excuses.
You can't make excuses.
As a man, period, you can't.
But as a black man,
as soon as you make that excuse, that's what the niggas do. See, I told you, that's how they all are. And it's like, I don't ever want to be a representation for that.
No.
I'm always a representation for the best that black people have to offer. Black men, black human beings, black Americans. This is what we have to offer. Am I the greatest? No. Am I working towards it? Absolutely.
Right.
But you will never see. It's just my responsibility. It's our responsibility to show the world what being a true black man is and a true representation
and if somebody tells you they don't see it, they lying. Like, you know how many times I've gone into places like as a new nurse, as that black nurse, and I feel like I'm always trying to prove myself. If you say you don't see it, if you say it's not true, it is true. Like again, we shouldn't have to, but it's like this level of expectation, like you always got to come as the best.
Always,
But, and that's okay. Like, you know what I mean? But we don't accept that. It's okay for you, again, to challenge the norms. It's okay for you to be a good black dad. And please don't think that we're giving out awards for being good black dads.
Just doing what you're supposed to do.
Wait a minute.
trophies.
Ain't no trophies for that. And I ain't never been to jail. You ain't supposed to go to jail.
You ain't supposed to.
So ain't no trophies for that.
Ain't no trophies.
You want us to pat you on the back? I take care of my kids.
Okay.
You supposed to.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Right, and I just be like, Tiff, shut up.
No, but that's real. No, folks need to hear that. This is what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do. So why we going to acknowledge you? You go above and beyond, I'm impressed.
Right.
But just the normal, common stuff.
That's supposed
but
to
it's weird. It's so uncommon in our culture that when you're like, all right, I don't do this or I don't do that, like, oh my gosh, you're an anomaly. It's like, I'm not no damn anomaly.
Because I see dads with their kids, I be like, I see dads with their daughter, I be like, hey, like, I don't know why it's so weird.
But I had a coworker one time. We was uptown and we was working, and he seen a black dude with his baby, and he's walking. He's like, he's a good dad. I'm like, why you say that?
He's a dad.
I'm like, why you say that? He said, because, I know in the black community that is, I'm like, nigga, I know more black people than you do, and every black man that I know is a father to his child. So I don't know I don't know if that makes him good, but every black man I know takes care of his kids, every one of them.
And would you be around the ones that ain't?
No,
you know what I mean? Like, dude, don't come around here. You know what I mean? You suited and booted every weekend hanging out, and we know you got like 10 kids. 10 you got like 10 kids, and you can't be around us.
Right. Like, you don't be around them because you know they slimy. You be like, all right,
like
a slimy boy. If he can slime out his kids, he don't give a damn. And then I think,
like you said, like we're at an age, like even marriage, relationship, cheating.
Yeah.
You're not going to hang around the cheating husband.
Right.
Because you're going to be like, dude, I know you wrong.
Bro, you about to get everybody booked. I'm leaving you alone.
Right. But just that level of accountability. Like, I don't want to be around that.
I said, don't tell me.
Yeah, don't. Listen.
I agree. Do not tell me.
Because if I find out, we're going to have some conversations. And you might not like them. You might stop speaking to me, but we're going to have some conversations because you have, let it go. If that's what you want to do, let it go.
You ain't got an agreement.
No.
They might got an agreement.
So there ain't no agreement.
No agreement.
What's the covenant?
They might have.
What's the Bible say?
Listen, I don't live by that.
What's the agreement?
Okay.
I mean, some people, everybody might not believe in that.
Okay.
I don't do till death do me part. You get on my nerve, you got to go.
Well,
Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo.
She said you ain't getting rid of me that easy.
No, come on. I've been married 3 times. I don't play that.
Oh, well, you gonna let him go?
Yeah. But that's why I say that's why God sends you everybody you need. Like we going on. We got 9 years. We doing good.
Right.
But there was a time in my life. Yeah. Wait, if I ain't happy, I'm out. Yeah. I don't have it to do. Yeah.
Skating like Usher.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I don't have it to do. Falling in everything. Yeah, I don't have it to do. I'm not going to be miserable and unhappy married to somebody and that's my life.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, but I ain't going to cheat on you. I'm going to leave you. I don't want that on my conscience. I don't want to have to lie. I don't want to.
That'd be my biggest thing.
Yeah, lying.
That's why I'd be like, I wouldn't be a good cheater. I ain't good with sneaking. I don't like sneaking.
Now, when I was younger,
I don't like having to lie. I don't like
yeah.
having to do none of that. Like, hey, listen, this is what I'm doing. Yeah. It's either what I'm doing or ain't what I'm doing. Like, I don't want to lie.
You accept it or you don't.
Listen, that's the fair. Right. Yeah, and I think that's how things should work in the world. Like,
give me the option.
Like, hey, this is what I'm doing. You can choose to stay or you can choose to leave.
And even in dating, if you're anything other than married, you're dating. You're single. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I'm still single.
If you're
babe, she said I'm single. We outside. No.
So you can be outside if that's your understanding.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, absolutely. I'm letting you know I'm dating 4 different people.
Right.
So if you see me with somebody, man, listen. In the younger days, that's what we did when we was younger and single. Okay. But you're dating 4 different people. I'm letting you know that. So if you see me somewhere, don't flip no tables.
Listen, relax yourself. Relax your mind. Let your conscience be free.
Listen, how many times you done seen a young woman?
He's gonna be in his mind like on the best man. He gonna be thinking
But then that's how people end up together that shouldn't end up together, because you see him out, you get angry. Next thing you know, you and him talking more and more. He ends up with you. You ain't come
y'all
on.
Wasn't supposed to be together.
Y'all wasn't supposed to be
y'all
together.
Was just a fling.
Right.
All messy.
Man,
it's messy. So now that we're older, we're not doing that.
Yeah, the school wop and the DVD wop.
You watch Love and Hip Hop?
Nah.
No.
Why you watch it?
No, I don't know. I don't watch a lot of TV.
Okay,
but something. What's her Mama D or whatever she is?
Ooh, that's Scrappy's mom, right?
Yes, she
so,
came out with a video the other day where she was like a mermaid or something. I saw it.
She almost drowned in that video. She couldn't get out that mermaid.
Yeah, see, I don't watch that. I
don't watch that no more. That's traumatic. It's too much trauma. They be like, damn, y'all old asses is out here still fighting. Like y'all 40. Y'all done got BBLs, DBLs, ABLs. Everything. Y'all look good. What the hell y'all out here fighting for?
So, like, to wrap up, so when you talk about leadership, even when it comes to the programming, there's a certain level or lack of leadership.
This shows this is how we're supposed to look, and that's not
right.
it. That's not it.
Yeah, like, it seems like the higher you get, the less of the lack of leadership appears. Like, the more money, you just... Yeah. Attention, like you just do stuff for
money,
attention.
To some people, money equals leadership. Like the people that are watching, they see people who got money and be like, oh, they're up. They know what they talking about because they got money. You be like, that don't mean they know how to get some money. They don't know nothing about what they talking about though.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
It's a big difference.
I agree,
and that's the difference because they're being led by the external things.
Right.
They can care what the messenger is saying. They don't hear nothing come out of it. They just want that lifestyle.
Or somebody says, I can show you how to make your first million, but you ain't made your first million.
Yeah.
And then they get offended when you ask them.
I'll show you how to make your first million for only $10.99.99.
What's the most you ever made? Oh, I made 100,000. So how are you gonna show me how to make my first million? Then they get offended.
Yeah.
Then it's like, oh, you hating? No, I ain't hating. You never made $1 million to show me. So stop telling people.
With the cap,
$1,000.
Listen,
right.
I can show you how to make some money, but. Like
absolutely.
I don't understand. You gonna pay me $999 to show you how to make $1 million? I ain't never made $1 million.
Right. Ain't never made $1 million.
That's because they know people.
But you get enough. If you get enough people to believe in it, you can tell them that.
That's why
they're gonna give you that $9.99.
I feel some people they'll get offended, but I'll be like, "What did you scale?" They'll be like, "Let me help you scale." Even when at first they be like, "I'm gonna show you how to make 10." I'm like, "You're gonna have to show me more than that."
I never even heard of you for you to be talking about. I'm gonna show you how to. Ain't nobody never heard of you for you to be teaching nobody how to make.
I think that's where it is. Leadership can be brought. It's brought now.
Yeah.
It's like you said, external things, how it can be looking, and people follow it. So I think it's word of caution. Be wise and study
and who
your
you
leaders.
follow. Don't follow everybody.
Pay attention to what they're not saying.
Right.
Stop being a follower and be a leader yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
To the background.
And like you said earlier, follow other leaders if you want to be a great leader.
Yeah.
Follow other great leaders.
Broke people don't follow broke people.
You can't. You ain't gonna learn nothing from them.
But to be broke.
I will say though, and this is it, and I'm out of here. I do think you can learn something from them homeless people because they be out there every day with them signs, and they're persistent.
Some of them
they probably do. I don't know how much money they get. I doubt they get a lot. Maybe they do. I don't know. But they're there every day, and I say, if you can learn nothing else from they broke ass, is to stand outside with your sign every day. And I think that's my word of the day.
A crackhead gonna get high no matter. Think about it. He gonna do what he gotta do to get high. Like, what you willing to do?
Listen.
I like that. Stand outside
with your sign every day. Hey, listen.
Let me go get a
That's
sign.
what I get from the homeless people. They stand outside that sign every day.
Consistency.
And one day I done gave away $2 in my lifetime to a homeless, to homeless folks. So they got something from me. So I learned something from them.
And tell the homeless people doing that to be careful, because this dude walked up to like my car the other day, and I was in the turning lane.
I don't really talk to him.
I was like, did I almost run it?
No. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Somebody standing there?
Oh my gosh. And sign be all flying up in the air.
You gonna be in court talking about,
and all that, no.
Ain't that the dude from With the Cat podcast?
She's gonna be like, it wasn't me. They're gonna be like, ma'am, it was just y'all two there, so who else did it?
On that note, hey, thank you for tuning in to Quit the Cat podcast. This is your boy VP, Bishop, and PosiTiff. We shall holler. Right. Peace. Peace to the gang, and welcome to Quit the Cat podcast.